everyone, thank you for watching and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with kind of a story time. Upon your request, I had you guys vote whether you want me to do a story time of catfish or how I met my husband, because it was a bit of a crazy story. This man literally fell for me after I told him I was gonna beat him up, so yeah. But anyways, you guys voted for the how I met my husband, and this was already requested, but I wanted you guys to vote. So yeah, you guys voted. Here it is. But yeah, Corey's gonna tell a story. I'm just gonna be doing a little quick get ready with me. As you can see, it's like nothing. It's just really like just my little 10-minute everyday routine. I just have to go to the market and run some errands. I hate going to the market, you guys. Who hates going to the market here? Like, anybody hate going to the market here? Anyone else? Yeah, everyone. People, nothing. Big crowds of people. Yeah, not my thing either. This story, I think it is a bit entertaining. It's just like funny and crazy at the same time. And I really didn't think you guys will be interested in it, but y'all tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it. So, but you guys, I really hope you guys enjoy this little story time. And yeah, you guys, just hoping you enjoy it. Just keep watching. Alright guys, I have a mess in the back. Hey, I wasn't even supposed to film today, but I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to film. Like, I want to be here with you guys. Telling you guys how to be attached. And you know what? You can't blame me, because there you've been commenting in my comment section, and now you guys got me attached, making me feel some type of way. So y'all can't blame me, okay? I'm just happy you guys are here, and I thank you so much for supporting me. Hopefully I can get through this video talking right without messing things up like I always do. July 8th was our 10-year anniversary. Now, he had asked me 10 years ago, he had asked me, well, he actually had confessed to me his feelings on the 4th of July while I was watching fireworks in my high school at the time, or where I had just graduated actually, because I had just graduated high school. And every year they tend to make a fireworks show. Of course, this year they didn't. I hope not. No, they didn't, because pandemic, hello. But he had confessed to me his feelings on 4th of July. Now, him and I had already been talking, and in a minute I'll tell you guys exactly how we met, but him and I had already been talking or whatever, but it wasn't anything like that, you know. He hadn't officially asked me, and well, I was just talking to this guy. So 4th of July, he confessed his feelings. Then on the 6th, he had asked me if I wanted to be his girlfriend. Now, I chickened out, because like I've never had a boyfriend before officially. Like, I've had heartbreaks, but they were like people who I was just like talking to, but weren't ever officially anything. And I chickened out, but then like 2 days passed, and on July 8th, I'm like, you know what? I do want to be your girlfriend. So ever since then, we've been inseparable. And I mean, we've had like our moments, you know. We even had like a breakup or two for like a day or two. And it was when something is just meant to be, it's just meant to be, you guys. Now, the way we met though, the way everything happened was just a little cray-cray, in my opinion. And let me tell you why. I've never been big on online dating. In fact, I still don't really believe in online dating. Like, I know I heard of people like, you know, finding their significant others. Like, I'm really skeptical about that. And even when I was like 17 years old, I still had like the same thoughts about this. I thought that it could be very dangerous. In fact, I was the one from the group that was always going to tell you that you needed to be careful, because you could really run into someone or something that you can regret. So I remember that like my friends would always talk about how they met someone in MySpace. At the time it was MySpace. So they would always talk about how they were talking to somebody on MySpace, and I was always the one who tell them, be careful, you don't know who you can be talking to. Like, don't tell them exactly what school you're going to. Like, you don't know if this can actually be like a grown-ass man, like hiding behind a picture, making you think that he's actually a teenager, if that makes any sense. So I was always the one to tell you to be careful. Now, they would call me the mom from the group, because I literally was always the one who was giving advice to be careful, because, you know, people are crazy. And of course, you would think, what would a 17-year-old have to do with always talking about the dangers in life or everything? But honestly, there's one thing that my mom did, is always kept me aware of like the dangers that can be out there. My mom went through so many things. Like, I mean, like, she experienced so many scary things that, I mean, she was woke. By the age of 7, she was already woke. Like, she knew that she had to watch out for people, because there was a lot of evil out there. So my mom always kept me educated towards that, if that makes any sense, you know, like, if that's the way I can describe it. And so I always known of dangers in life. There was always stories that she can tell me. And I came from TJ too. Like, I was from TJ. I came here when I came to the US when I was 9 years old, and I knew the possible dangers that it could be to be out there, you know. So we heard of all kinds of things, and well, we were just very aware. Now, here in the US, I don't want to say that people take it lightly, but like I feel like it's something that parents don't really tend to talk a lot with their kids, if you will. I'm not gonna say all parents, but the way my friends were acting, they were pretty naive and they were pretty comfortable with talking with a random stranger online, which was not good because we've all heard stories at one point. Come on, guys. My point, I was always trying to talk them out of things or make sure they didn't do anything stupid, especially because as it is, I already had 2 friends that I grew up with that I went to middle school with, and as soon as we hit our freshman year, they got pregnant of some guy. I just wanted the best for them, and I didn't want them to get themselves into a situation that maybe they really didn't want after all. Point is, I was always trying to talk them out of doing anything that I thought could get them in trouble or could put them in a situation where they could be in trouble. You know, they can be troubled. And so I just think it's so funny because I'm the one who's always telling them to stay away from online dating and to not be talking to strangers online, yet here I come. How I met my husband originally was MySpace. Remember the MySpace times? Who's that old here, first of all? Because I feel like YouTube doesn't want to tell me my audience yet. Like, I guess like I have to have a certain amount of traffic on my channel for me to know the kind of audience that I'm, you know, that are viewing me. I want to think it's people around my age because MySpace, like, you guys are gonna have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But anyways, at this time that I met him, I was going through a very hard heartbreak. Again, I've never had anything official before, but I was talking to other guys, and I was getting over the situation of when my best friend was sleeping with the guy I was dating. Remember that one? Yeah. I actually have that story time already available for you guys. Want to know the gossip, the chisme? It's already up on my channel. How cute is this powder, y'all? How cute is this powder? By the way, everything's going to be in the description box below, okay? Like, I know I don't talk about the products, but y'all know the drill. Oh, this is just so luxurious. I love it. Now, by this time, I had actually just graduated high school. I remember I was actually talking to somebody at this time. I had even met up with them, but I just felt like it just didn't spark. And I remember this guy was like really trying his best. And then I met Alexis, my now husband, and I just felt an instant connection. But before I felt an instant connection, let me tell you how we came across each other and how telling this guy that I was pretty much gonna beat him up made him somehow see that I was the one. At this time, I was trying to get over the fact that I was actually betrayed by one of my good friends and then the guy that I was actually talking to, because I found out they were sleeping together. And then I was talking to this guy, but like he wasn't sparking anything in me, so I was just like browsing around, just kind of what we do, just scrolling through feed and everything. I don't remember how exactly like I came across his profile, because I do remember we didn't have any friends in common. I'm not sure, but I do remember seeing a picture of this guy that looked like somebody that I had a crush on when I was in middle school. So instantly I clicked on the profile picture and then he comes up. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. For a minute I thought he was this other guy. And then his smile, like I remember his profile picture. He was like in a high school and he was like sitting, kneeling, and he was holding this little teddy bear. And I remember like his eyes to me were like piercing. Like his eyes were just like so, I don't know how to explain. I don't want to say beautiful to sound like cheesy. That's not what I want to say. They were like very piercing. Like I couldn't help but look at his eyes. And then his smile, you guys, was like to die for. I mean, if I do say so myself. And then the fact that he's kneeling, holding a little teddy bear, and he's like this guy and he's holding a teddy bear, and I'm like, okay. So I don't know. I think it was out of curiosity. So I started going through his profile. And then I noticed that on his status, he had like this, like, kind of like this message of like, I think he was going through a heartbreak where he said something like, I don't know, but he looked hurt. He just looked like he was really hurt. Like somebody had just hurt him. Like somebody had just left him. I was just that person who always, if I could make things better for you, like that was just me, like I would. Don't get me wrong. I'm still that person now. Like I'm still sensitive towards people's feelings, but I'm not as I used to be at that time. Like at that time, I just thought I can fix everyone. Normal. I was an 18-year-old. My emotions were like not stable, and clearly I had very low self-esteem. So you guys know how that goes. But I remember that I sent him a message. There's something along the lines of like, hey, don't be sad. You know, life is so beautiful and there's so many beautiful things in life to enjoy. Like, don't be sad. You know, things happen for a reason. Just move forward and move on and this and that. That's all I said. Now, if you, as you can see in the message, like, there is nothing flirtatious about it. I was actually on a very serious note. I was not looking for any kind of sympathy from him. It just, honestly, in that moment, it came from the bottom of my heart, and I just thought that he can use some words to make him feel better. Little did I know that this guy had a very great ease to sweet talk. And so his response, you're right, it's not even worth it, she's not even worth it, and you're right, there's like so many beautiful things in life that we can enjoy, like you. What's your name? You know what? As you can see, what he told me wasn't really like a huge deal. It wasn't anything for me to like get super worked up about or pissed off, but I was very protective of my heart. I had already been through enough when it came down to like men who thought that they can just sweet talk you out and just fool you and, you know, just move from one to the other like so quick without a problem. And I just had enough of that. And so my response, hey, listen, buddy, I don't know how you think I was trying to come at you. However you think I was trying to come at you, you're wrong, okay? I just saw you were hurt, and I just want to give you some words of motivation. But if you think you're going to be sliding into my inbox, trying to sweet talk me in, fool me like you're probably used to fooling others and sweet talk girls in and think you're gonna come over here and play with my feelings, you're wrong, okay? Because I will put you in your place. I will put you in your place. I will square up with you, okay? I was in boxing, I was in wrestling, I was in water polo with the boys and girls. I know how to handle guys like you, so I will put you in your place. You heard? Like, I will put you in your place. Think you're gonna come over here and play me and shit? I told him, yes I did. Now, let me ask you guys, a typical guy, what would he do? Ignore, block, bye, right? Well, I don't know, something about what I said, the way I put him in his place, the way I just told him he wasn't gonna come over here and just like slide into my DMs and just be all sliding around and just be all slutty on me, like, that ain't gonna go with me. Like, I've been through enough. Like, I've been through 18 years old, 2 heartbreaks. I've been through enough, right? And so his response was, whoa, like, hey, calm down. Like, I was not trying to offend you. Sorry if I offended you. Like, no, I appreciate your kind words. You know, I appreciate that. Yes, I am hurt. But I just thought you were really pretty. And I actually do want to get to know you. Like, I'm happy you messaged me. You know, you messaged me. What you talking about? You know, like, but I'm happy you did. I'm actually interested in getting to know you more. Me? I mean, honestly, that meant that he was actually really interested. Who wants to be dealing with the freaking psychopath? Honestly, guys, I sounded crazy. I'm crazy, and I was actually really crazy. I was traumatized. Like, I was just not about to go through it anymore. I had a couple of heartbreaks already. Like, I didn't want to go through it anymore. I wasn't up for it anymore. And then, you know, it was just, to me, it's like, man, it's so easy for you guys to just sweet talk girls out and stuff like that. And like, you know, once you see y'all not gonna get what you want, like, you just drop them and go on to the next one, that the one that would actually give you what you want. Like, it was just some BS, you know. I was just not up for it anymore. Like, honestly, that's like the main reason why, like, some guys that I was into, like, they dropped me, because like I was not gonna sleep with them. Like, and I never did, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of it because I reserved myself for my special one, you know. And TMI, but like, I mean, I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of the fact that I never fell for it. That joke was on them, because they actually wasted their time more than I wasted mine, because at the end of the day, they didn't get to their goal. They didn't get what they wanted from me. So I was actually pretty happy about that. Like, yeah, like, straight up, you know, it was like, yeah, joke was on you. I can only imagine how frustrating it was for them that they just didn't get there. And so we're exchanging messages back and forth, this and that, and he convinces me to like give him my number. I had a little flip phone, like I had it mentioned in my other story time, the one with my weird creepy supervisor, remember? My little flip phone. I had a little flip phone. Like, I communicated with the little flip phone. That's how we did, you know what I'm saying? Until I actually got a smartphone. But yeah, I gave him my little flip phone number, and we just hit it off, and we were talking. I was getting to know him. He was getting to know me. But unfortunately, like, he was pretty far, and none of us had a car. He was all the way in Boyle Heights, and I was in Baldwin Park. So, like, That's that's like a whole 45-minute distance. And if you don't have a car, now I remember he did tell me that he did have a truck. He owned a truck, but he sold it to send the money to his grandma in Mexico. His grandma was like going through a health issue or something like that. So he sold his truck to give his grandma the money so she can take care of herself. You know, Mexico's not the same thing as here. Like, you don't really have possibilities over there if you don't have money. So he sold his truck to give to his grandma. Of course, that gave him extra points for me. We were talking for a while. It was just like getting a little frustrating because like we were talking over the phone. I remember like I used to go over at my best friend's house so I can like borrow her house phone. We can call each other. I used to go to her house. I can borrow her computer and like communicate with him on MySpace because like I had only so much internet availability on my little prepaid flip phone or whatever. So like I would go over to my best friend's house and she would let me borrow her computer. She would let me borrow her phone because then I would waste my minutes and it was prepaid, so then I wouldn't be able to communicate no more. And so I remember like we would just talk back and forth until he asked me to be his girlfriend. I remember like I was going to like bridal practice. One of my friends wanted me to be like one of her bridesmaids, and we did like this dancing performance or whatever. So we were practicing, I remember, and I was like talking to him like while I was walking my way over there. Like it was like an everyday thing until it came 4th of July that he asked me. Well, he didn't ask me. He actually was confessing his feelings. He was saying that he was falling for me. He said he loved the fact that I respected myself so much and I made him respect me, and that I was pretty much raised old-fashioned and he loved that about me. That I was actually someone who he would love to try something out with. That yeah, like he did have like that little heartbreak and he did have like that hurt in his heart, but that he was over it. He was just like getting over the fact that he was like messed over, but that he really liked me. He really wanted to like try something out with me. And so again, he confessed his feelings on 4th of July. I told him I was feeling something special for him too. And then on the 6th, he officially asked me. I remember like I was outside my best friend's house backyard, and I was like talking on the phone with him, and he asked me, and I told him like I was always honest with him. Like I've always been honest, and I told him like, you know, I haven't met you in person, and I feel like for us, like I didn't say no, but like I remember I told him like I haven't met in person, and I just feel like let's meet in person first and make sure we do like really connect fully. Like we've been talking on the phone and text, you know, whatever, we've been hitting off like really good, but let's see each other in person first, get to know, go out a couple of days, and you can ask me again. And then I don't know, I guess like days went by, and it's just like I was falling more for him, and he was just being so sweet. At the time, for those of you guys that did have MySpace, remember how like you can send videos to people, and like those videos had a specific song and all kinds of pictures. Like those videos I think were from YouTube. People created those videos with all kinds of like different pictures. Like it was like especially like love songs and stuff like that, and you were able to send those videos like to whoever you like. And you know, like he just made me fall for him so hard. And I don't know, on the 8th we were talking again, and I'm like, you know what, I do want to be your girlfriend. And then from then on, yeah, every 8th is our anniversary. Like we've had a couple of like breakups in the early dating stage, but you know how that is, y'all. Like you guys break up for like an hour and then you get back together like within like a few hours. Nothing like huge or serious. Like I will tell you though, we did go through a lot together, but nothing in life is easy, you guys. I'm gonna tell you from my personal experience, usually people fall in love hard, like really hard in the beginning, and then like little by little as they spend time together and years go by, like it starts like, you know, slowly like dying little, and then like separation comes or whatever. And us, thank God like he just blessed us this much. Like we started feeling something special for each other, but then as the years went by, as we grew together and we got to like know each other and just like pretty much become one person, we just fell so hard. And like we feel like as time passes by, like we just love each other more. Honestly, like I never thought I was actually gonna be in front of camera talking about something so personal and intimate for me and for him, and you know, with you guys. But y'all asked, y'all voted. But yeah, like we've even had this talk where we feel like we love each other way more now than we ever thought that we loved each other. Like it's just been like that. And recently, not a few months ago, we just got married too. We weren't officially married, but like we're legally married. To me, paper doesn't really define what a relationship is. Honestly, we have people who get married within 2 months of getting to know each other, and divorce comes right along the way within months too, because it's really important to live with the person and really get to know them first. It's one thing dating them and living with them and actually spending your life with them. It's totally different. It's not the same. It's not like before. And if you guys are in that situation where you feel bad because you haven't gotten married, don't worry about it. People are always gonna have like opinions. Religious people, they're gonna be like, you're living in sin or whatever. Honestly, in that perspective, I'm at peace because I know the way things happen, and they happen the way they happen for a reason. It wasn't intentional. But nowadays, it's really much better if you get to know the person first and live with them first, then get married and then live with each other, and then it's a total chaos and you're just miserable with each other. That's just my personal experience advice. There's people who has worked out amazing, like they really met the one, first things hand, they got married, and it just has been beautiful since that point on. They've been 50 years together, whatever. But for most cases that I've seen, like most cases, they really think they love each other. They get married within months and then they live with each other. It's just a totally different thing from whatever they thought it would be. So our first official date that we ever actually met in person was actually, and until this day, it's like really special to us just passing by that place. You would think it's something like so freaking special, like a special place, but it wasn't actually. We actually met for the first time at a bus station. It's just so crazy just to remember the story, how like, you know, we were busing our way. We actually had to take a bus from East LA and I had to take one from where I was, and we would meet up there in the bus station. And I told them, I know a park near here that you'll like, so we bus back together. Now, first impressions, okay, because this is very important. This is the reason why I want to make sure that we met in person first, because like I had an experience where we met in person and just like I didn't feel the spark as I felt through the messages. Like it just wasn't the same person, I think. And that was actually the person that I was talking to before I met Alexis. But this is why I thought it was so important to meet in person. Now, I think not only was I concerned whether I will like him personally in person, but also would he like me, because I didn't want it. Because trust me, remember the catfish story that I told you guys I had? It has something to do with that. And it's a pretty fun story, you guys. Trust me, like that's gonna come up next probably. But I just thought, I don't know, I just want to make sure that we met in person. I remember like when we finally see each other, like, oh my god, you guys, I look over and I see him and I see this giant tall guy just over there looking at me, like just looking straight at me, like those eyes, those piercing eyes that I fell in love with, like just looking at me. And I was just looking at him and I just felt like, I remember I felt like my heart beating fast and my blood just dropped, and I just like ran to him and hugged him and just like, and the first thing out of my mouth was like, you're so big. He laughs and then like, yeah. But then this guy almost got ditched, you guys. This guy almost got ditched. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you. So we were waiting for the bus. We can go to a park nearby where I live, right? And so the bus was coming because we're at the bus station. Now what he told me, the way I understood it, is that he didn't have money, because he said, I'm gonna let you pay because I thought he said I don't have money. That's what he said. The thing is, he told me in Spanish. The thing is that the word he used in Spanish to refer to money, to me, was just money. But the word he was using actually meant change, right? But to me, because he said feria. Feria is money or change. But where I came from, feria is just money, period. Where he comes, feria is like change, right? Feria. And so when he said he didn't have it, I was like, I'm sorry, what? Come again, what? What? Second time he said it kind of like with an attitude, but it was not that I think of it, it wasn't an attitude. It's just because that's how he talks when he's uncomfortable. He's very standoffish. And he said, I said I'm gonna let you pay because like I don't have money. I thought he said I don't have money, but he meant I don't have change. But I thought he said I don't have money, right? So I'm over here like, oh, he's gonna pull a fast one on me. Okay, so whatever. I wasn't the one to make a scene, so sure, I paid his pass, $1, whatever, $1.25, whatever. So I paid his pass, right? And we go to the park. We go to the park and we're talking or whatever. And I really like this guy. Honestly, I really like this guy. But the whole bus ride, it was so freaking awkward. Like, we were sitting right next to each other and it's like we were just complete strangers. Like, if like when you go on the bus and you just sit like next to a complete stranger, that's how it was. And I'm like, I'm not feeling the spark, I'm not feeling the vibe, I'm not feeling him. Like, this is not the person that he is, like, through text. Like, it's just, you know, this is why I wanted to meet in person before making it official. And now I'm officially his girlfriend, yet we can't even freaking have a conversation, right? And so on my mind, you guys, I was already like thinking of all kinds of scenarios and stories on how to get rid of this guy. Like, I was already thinking like, I'm just gonna let the date like go through. As soon as we both go our separate ways, as soon as I get home, I'm just gonna tell him like it just didn't work out. I didn't feel like the connection with him like I felt in text, and I'm sorry, but I just really don't want to go forward with this. Like, I'm over here thinking that, right? Okay, so then again we go to the park. Like, I already had a plan to get rid of this guy, right? And so we're talking or whatever, and he tells me, he goes, I'm thirsty. He goes, do you know anywhere here where they sell agua fresca, you know, like fruit water, fresh waters? And I was like, oh yeah, there's like this place right here, they make fruit salads and they have like really good waters. He goes, okay, let's go get one. You want one? And I'm over here thinking in my head, like, of course I'm gonna get one, considering the fact that I'm gonna pay for it, because you don't even have money. So yeah, of course I'm gonna get one. So I'm over here, right, like all freaking salty or whatever about it. And we go, you guys, and he tells me, like, he's asking me, like, I'm over here thinking, you have the nerve, because he's asking me like, what flavor do you want? And I'm over here like, oh, the audacity, like he's gonna buy it or whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, I want a lemonade or whatever, you know, like over here like all freaking like tantrumish and salty about it. He stakes out like a whole bunch of bills, and there was like hundreds and 20s in there, and I'm over here like, you know, I look at him and I'm like, I thought you didn't have money. He's like, no, I never said I didn't have money. And he goes, I said I didn't have change, so I want to buy water so we can get change. And I'm like, oh. And he goes, you really thought I was gonna take you on a date without money? And I'm like, yeah, I really did think, you know. And he goes, oh my gosh, so all this time, like, you really thought I just came over here without like anything, even to like, you know, scratch up a water or something? I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh my god, like, what kind of person do you think I am? I'm like, I don't know, like, we're really getting to know each other. I don't know what kind of person you are, you know? And so from there, like, I just felt like kind of like red. Like, I remember like my blood just went to my face. I'm like, oh, like, what? Like, you don't mean you don't have money? You mean like you don't have change money? Like money change, like change money? That's what you mean? Like, not money, but like change money? Because like, yeah. And that's why like I propose we come over here so I can actually get change, actually like buy your bus pass on the way back, since you paid mine over here because I didn't have change. And over here like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I just, yeah. Guys, from that point on, we just like kept talking or whatever. But yeah, you guys, again, like, don't let people tell you how like your relationship should start, because like honestly, when things are really meant to be, they're gonna happen the way they're meant to happen. And no, nobody has the right to tell you, oh no, you shouldn't like live with them if you're not married. Like, don't let them tell you. Like, I know, especially from our generation, millennials, we come from old-fashioned parents. I know so because I was raised old-fashioned, where they teach us that, you know, we live in sin if we do this and this and that. And I know like religion comes here and it's conflict of interest or whatever, but honestly, at the end of the day, you need to do what your heart and yourself thinks is right for you at the moment. You can't just get married with somebody that you hardly know just because that's what's gonna look right for society, for everyone else. Do we all agree? We all agree, right? Yeah. Tight. We can't just be guided by these people, because when it comes down to these kind of things, people always have all kinds of things to say. Like, they always have something to say to you. And I feel like at the end of the day, the person who's gonna deal with either divorce and unhappiness and the feeling that you failed is gonna be you, not them. And so yeah, they're just gonna be there, oh, I'm so sorry it didn't work, you know, at least you did things right. You know what, you guys, do things the way you think this should be done. Don't like let people pressure you into anything. I respect religion a lot. I'm not a huge religious person, even though I was raised Catholic. There's a lot of things I don't agree with what the priest says, and a lot of things that I don't agree with what Catholic people says. I really do try to read the Bible, and it is a book written by man, you know, who claims that that's the word of God. If your heart tells you that something is not right, and you know you're a good person, you know you always try to do the right thing, and you know you have a relationship with God or whatever you believe in that is a positive thing, go forward with what you think is best. People are not going to deal with what you're going to have to deal with. So don't mind them, because at the end of the day, people are always going to be there to criticize or not. So you guys, that's the story of how my husband and I met. I can't believe that this actually interests you guys. But yeah, it was a little bit of a crazy story, honestly, because like I literally told this man that I was going to whoop his butt, and he was like, that's the one. That's the one for me. And he even told my mama, because my mom is like, hey, like, if you think that you're gonna come over here and play with my daughter, like, you're wrong. Like, she is raised old-fashioned. She's not about that life. So have any other intentions with her, just, you know, I'm telling you now, like, no, 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 you know. And he like straight up told, he goes, no, that is what I like about her, that she's raised old-fashioned. And well, in our generation nowadays, that's a quality you don't really find. I'm like, okay, all right. Now eventually, of course, like, I had my own opinions, and obviously I took my own decisions, whether, no matter how I was raised or how I was taught and the morals I was taught, I took my own decisions as the grown woman that I was, and as I felt my heart dictated me and the way my mind dictated me. So honestly, follow your heart, do what you think it's right, no matter how many people you disappoint, because at the end of the day, what matters is your happiness and no one else's. And when you fail, people are there so quick to tell you that you fucked up and that it's over for you and that that's it, and they don't stop and think that that actually could be a blessing in disguise happening for you and to you and for you, because that's the way it was supposed to happen, because that's the way God decided that was supposed to happen for you. So follow your happiness. Be really careful, because people are crazy. I still don't recommend online dating, even though that's the way I found my spouse. But hey, again, follow your heart, but just be very careful and use your common sense. That's all I can say. Use your common sense and don't be blinded. And that's it. But anyways, you guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what the next one is gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be a story time or probably gonna be a DIY, because I love making up projects for you guys and you guys seem to be loving those. Or it might be a mystery or crime or some kind of story along that alley. So yeah, you guys. But you guys, I'll see you guys next time, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye guys.